Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome to the weekly timetable for the week of December 28th, 2014. We are just past Christmas. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. I got a number of Merry Christmas comments on the previous video of these, so that turned out great. The Christmas run session turned out great. And this week's videos went just as smoothly as ever, starting on Monday with Simulation Protocol Episode 11. Whatever title this is, The Useless Hole. Now, it turned out not to be so useless, but it also turned out to be kind of deadly, as you may have noticed in the last episode, and maybe the beginning of this one. Oh yeah, that's right. At the beginning of this episode, I got blown up by a supercharged creeper in that hole, which apparently Weibold explored and made sure that there's nothing down there. So, you know, kind of wish I knew that before I went down there, if there was really nothing down there, but I'm glad I went down there because there was iron down there, and that turned out to be really helpful. It also turned out that there was a bottom to the bottomless pit, and people hit the ground too hard. Every now and then I get a little bit hungry, and you never
turn around. That was
R.I.P. headphone users.
an interesting scream.
Dang it!
Today we learned that Chris is secretly a girl.
Is
When there was a
still
supercharged creeper behind me, did I make anything remotely close to that?
No.
Thank God.
Hello? The call's still going?
Because I was a little startled.
Call is still going.
Hello? I can't hear anything after that.
On Tuesday, we had Trainman Plays Cursorious Locomotion, episode 161, Blowing Your Mind. Because I started up the game in a way that nobody ever thought possible or ever saw coming or anything like that. It's not that anyone had an idea about this to begin with, and maybe proposed it probably several years ago, and I didn't listen to them. Actually, that's probably exactly what happened. But I did it now, and I'm blowing your mind. We also did a few things in this episode. We added new coal cars. We added, finally, we added new iron ore trains. We added a 20th Century Limited, or actually Empire State Express, to Steamtown while we still could. And added a bunch more trains overall. We got these jeeps pulling scrap metal trains, and more AI shenanigans. You're not done unloading yet. What was that? No! Again, why? Whoa, no! What are you doing? You're insane! You're gonna piss off some people in a few minutes. Oh, you're gonna go down and... No, you're gonna keep going over, aren't you? You're gonna go higher. Let me guess. No, you're going lower. Okay, wow, mind blown. You're doing something sensible. Okay. Still not sure where you're trying to go. Okay, good so far. On Wednesday, we had War Thunder Episode 9 called Disappointment. Ideally, I was going to go with Disappointed, but I couldn't find that clip anywhere, and I forgot what it's from, so Disappointment, because I finished all the research required to get my F7F, and they'd moved it down the tech tree, so I couldn't buy it anymore right off the bat. So now I have to get the Bearcats first, which is going to be a pain in the butt, because those guys take a lot of research, a hell of a lot of research. So I started working on the P63 instead, and then just kind of let that sit by the wayside. I've been playing more tanks than planes recently anyways. Great.
Like, just about one shot.
You have fun over there. I'm gonna kill this SBD. Why is there an SBD here?
A Dauntless?
Are you lost? Are you looking for the Tier 1 battles? They're over there.
Julius, I think you brought it there. Because he has Tier 2.
Wow. The B-17 killed me. He ripped my tail off.
Yes! And that's why you don't bring an SBD to this battle. You know, I bet he was dragged by some poor, or some idiot squad mate who has like Tier 3.
Why is there an HE-51 in here? What the flip?
They're probably in the same squad.
You know how
this
you do
thing's got
that?
a better
You
hard
just
drive
get a
than-
super high tier plane.
And I
I
killed
know.
that one too.
You get a super high tier plane like the P-51.
And that one.
and then put a P-26.
I like this thing. It's
Well,
very
I am gonna definitely get that plane today
It's
because
quite big
holy
gift,
cow, I'm on a killing spree. On Thursday, we had Zombie Train episode 103, Large and Small. That was the run session name. I could have named it something Christmassy as well, but I went with Large and Small. It was a better descriptor. We run an F40 from Tamaros to Arturo, and then we run a train from Arturo up to Sesquica. Now, I know you think, how is this possible? Well, think with the smallest thing we have. We've got that 2-foot gauge. And then I realized just how wonky the 2-foot gauge actually is. But I took a lot of people's suggestions, or I tried to. I couldn't do everything, of course, and I couldn't drive everything, or else the episode would have been, 5 hours instead of 30 minutes. And I'm sure you guys would have gobbled it up, because run session on Tamaros Vale and Wakanda only comes around every once in a blue moon. We've also got the link to the new alpha, which I can check how many people have downloaded it so far. That's not how you spell Mediafire. But I've also got the link to the new alpha there, the most recent one, and yeah, so it turned out pretty well. I think I enjoyed it. It was bueno. 14 people have downloaded it so far. Be sure to delete the old one before you add the new one in, or else it'll cause problems. Oh, look, there's a train coming the other way. Actually, we're going to need to stop because they're going to be across the switch that we need. See ya. That's a big long coal train. How fast do you think they're going? Up Tardis Pass. They probably had some trouble. That's certain. That's a 3,000-ton train. But we need to get ourselves into the yard, so that means this. On Friday, we had Trainman's Fever, episode 18, The Broadway. Now, I named the episode that because it's probably the only interesting thing that happens, and the clip is about it too, because that's just the little informational tidbit that led me to name the episode that. It's about the PRR, the standard railroad of the world, as said by themselves. And, I mean, the episode had, it's a pretty steady kind of thing. I'm just building and building and building and building. I'm building new routes and building new engines. I have yet to replace the army of horse, but we're getting there. We'll eventually start to phase out the very, very old things. Actually, rail factual tidbit, why I'm calling it Broadway, is for the Broadway Limited. The PRR train. Now, you say Broadway came out of New York, of course. You think Broadway as in the street. You son of a gun, stop doing that. It's not about the street. Broadway Limited was named after the Broadway of the railroad itself, which was a 4-track main line. And there's your bit of rail knowledge for today. On Space Engineers, on Saturday we had Space Engineers we had Saturday, episode 22, The Second Mission, where we go out against another private sail. Once again, not very formidable opponents. Apparently TBA has done some research and used a mock-up of the cruiser in creative mode to test runs on different ships, and I hope he continues to do that, because that'll tell us what we can and can't go up against, what we're likely and unlikely to survive encounters with when we're eventually floating out in the wild. Eventually I want to move these guys over to an exploration mode save, but I'm not entirely sure how I want to do that, and I've heard that they can cause copious amounts of lag. So with the stuff we're already dealing with, I don't really want to bother with that yet.
I think it's guns.
Yeah, bring the guns online.
Guns online.
They need this game needs like more spacey sound effects. I mean, it's space, so you shouldn't be able to hear a damn thing, but
Really, that's really so true. Alright.
Inertial dampeners are on,
Okay.
so we should be slowing down. We are slowing down. Speed is decreasing.
Come on, Red Dawn, you can do it.
I'm adjusting our vector to bring us closer to the private sail.
Insert battle music here.
I'm actually getting some pretty sweet music thanks to the game right now. This game has great music.
I'm not hearing any music, but
Pump up the volume.
they should be training in on each other now. There they go.
There they are.
We're not taking fire yet.
Yes, we are. I can hear it. And just 7 hours ago, I posted the Terminus podcast, episode 17, Railfan by Proxy. There's a bunch of interesting discussion in this about things like the inverto bath and a train that runs on logs, that uses logs for rails, as well as a very interesting thing called the Iron Horseman Chronicles, which fans of the Full Buccaneers might want to go check out. So you might want to listen to the. If you don't listen to the podcast and you were a fan of the Full Buccaneers, go listen to the podcast and check that out because we are doing something interesting. I only have 2 videos of the week here. One of them I got very, very recently, just because I totally forgot that I had to do videos of the week. I've been busy this week, of course, with Christmas and everything. But speaking of Christmas, wrong side. You can see the track running over there. The train is sitting there against the wall. I've got it hooked up to a clapper, of all things. I could clap my fingers and let it run. Or clap my hands, clap, clap, and it would run. But I'm not doing that because it's very, very loud. I've also got the dog on the couch, which is set up like... Well, it isn't extended, but I've got sheets on and stuff because we had company and I had to forego my... I voluntarily let my room go to somebody else so I could stay down here and not have somebody sleeping down here when I would be on the computer very late, which is exactly what happened. But for video of the week candidates, we have the Astra 2G launch with a ILS Proton rocket. It's another rocket launch. It's really cool to watch, always, of course. And you get about, like, 2 minutes and 20 seconds in, I think. Or maybe 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It's between 2 and 4 minutes when the rocket's flying. You get this, like, rainbow halo that comes off of it in smoke. It's awesome looking. I mean, it really is. Then we have the actual video of the week, which is the Icy Finger of Death. Now, it's 2 minutes and 14 seconds. It might be a little slow to start at first, but if you watch this thing, it's very, very cool. I'm pretty sure it is a time lapse. It has to be. Oh yes, of course it is. Starfish don't move that fast. Of the salty, briny water after it gets squeezed out of the ice. You know, when water solidifies into ice, it forces out the salt. So it creates salt-dense water, which of course floats downwards because it's denser than the water around it, and because it's also incredibly cold, but it won't freeze because it has a high salt content. It freezes the water it touches, so it makes what's called the Icy Finger of Death, where the briny water is slowly filtering down, and it's creating ice around the side of it as it goes. It's amazing looking. Once again, both of these videos are lookers. But other than that, I have to make a little shout out to the, what is this? The Gateway to Astronaut Photography of Earth. It's the High Definition Earth Viewing System, HDEV. It is cameras on the International Space Station. It's down right now, unfortunately, but I'm sure it'll be back up. It goes on and off when the, you know, you have a temporary loss of signal with the ISS when it doesn't go near any of your satellites. But that's it for this week, and I'll see you guys next week, starting on Monday with the Simulation Protocol Overload. Hope you guys have a nice Christmas, and have a happy New Year. Trainman out.